Hey y'all. Today's objective is about the vertex form. So we've been talking about quadratic equations, and the standard form for quadratic equations is ax squared plus bx plus c. That's the standard form. The a in standard form and in vertex form tells us whether the graph is going to go up, open up, or positive, or it's going to go down and negative. So if it's a positive value and the graph is going up, that means you have a minimum value. If the graph is if the a is negative and it's going down, that means you're going to have a maximum value, depending on which way your parabola is going. If it's the direction's upward, then that means you're going to have a minimum value. If the parabola is down, that means you're going to have a maximum value. If a is greater than 1, then you're going to have a vertical stretch, like we've been doing sort of dilations of the y value. So if it's a big number, that means it's going to be stretched up, so it's going to make it a vertical stretch, so it's going to make it look skinnier. Your parabola is going to look skinnier. If a is less than 1, that's a vertical shrink or a compress, and that makes your parabola is going to be wider. So it's kind of reverse. If a is greater than 1, it's going to get skinnier. If it's less than 1, it's going to get wider. All of that to say vertex form is in a different form, but still a quadratic equation. A times the quantity of x minus h squared plus k. Alright, so write this down. That is vertex form, where h and k is the vertex. So remember, when it's inside the parentheses, just like we've been practicing, you have to take the opposite of h. So we're going to do some examples. The whole purpose of this is for you to sketch graphs of quadratic equations when they're in vertex form. We also are going to use vertex form when we complete the square. Alright, so just some background knowledge. If you have a function, x squared, it's a regular parabola, this pink one. If you have a value inside the parentheses like an h or a or b or c, whatever the value is inside the parentheses, that's going to be the horizontal translation, either left or right. Now remember, if it's minus, it's going to be to the right, and if it's a negative, it's going to be to the left. So I've shown you the blue horizontal transformation. And then on the outside, if you're adding a k or an a, b, c, w, whatever the value is on the outside, that's going to be your vertical translation. If it's a positive, it's going to be up. If it's minus, it's going to be down. So there's your vertical transformation, your translation. Then you put them both together, and that's where we get the vertex form from. Alright, so some examples. Sketch the graph. I'm going to give it to you in vertex form. You have to find the vertex. You have to find what direction it's going into. And then we're going to just sketch a parabola. So I've shown you in this one, y equals x minus 1 squared plus 1. The vertex comes from these two numbers. Because it's minus 1 inside the parentheses, it's going to be a positive 1, and then that is your 1. So the vertex is at 1, 1. That means that's going to be the point, either your maximum or your minimum. The direction is going up, because right here we have a positive a value in front of my parentheses. So that means I'm going to go up, and I'm just going to sketch the graph of a parabola. Alright? B, y equals x plus 2 squared minus 3. Because it's a plus, that means it's going to be a negative 2. And minus 3 is going to be a negative 3 for your vertex. So our vertex is negative 2, negative 3. And the direction is up, because the number right here is a positive, so my direction is up. Alright, so that's just a very quick sketch of a parabola. Alright, so here's C. Y equals negative x plus 3 squared plus 4. So my vertex is going to be negative 3, 4, because of the positive 3 and the 4. My direction is going to be down. because of this negative right there, it means my parabola is going to be opening downward. So I plot my vertex, -3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And my parabola is going to go down. Okay? D, my vertex is 2, -3 because of my H and K. And it's going to have a direction of up because I have a positive value right here. So 2, -3. And there you go. So I hope this is making sense. Right now we're just focusing on sketching the graph of your quadratic equation. Alright, so E. I have a 2 on the outside. I have a 2 on the outside, which means you're going to have a vertical stretch. And if you go back to the very first slide, we said if it's greater than 1, it's going to get skinnier because your Y values are going to be multiplied, but not your X values. My vertex is 3, 4. So I need to come over here and plot 3, 4. Alright, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going up because that's positive, but it's going to be skinnier because of the vertical stretch of 2. A vertical stretch by 2, so it's going to get skinnier. F, my vertex is -3, 4, and it's going down because of the negative, and I'm going to have a vertical stretch of 3, so that's even going to be skinnier. So -3, 4. And it's going down, and it's going to be skinnier because of the 3. So that's got everything in it. It's going down, it's got a vertical stretch because of the -3 in front. Alright, so that's it. We're going to practice sketching quadratic equations that are in vertex form, and we're going to be practicing finding the vertex.